Hello, welcome to Railgun S episode 19. This is Fosh bringing you another review for the week, and yeah, this arc is kind of cool so far. I like what they're doing, even though it's, I would definitely say it's pretty slow pacing anyway, and story-wise, seems pretty simple right now. And when we last left off, the girls, I guess, all met this new character named Febly. She's got little blonde hair and everything, and they kind of are questioning her, about her name and everything. The last thing she mentioned before the episode ended last week was Misaka's name, and that's where it kind of ended with Misaka like wondering like who are you? Because she doesn't know who this kid is because she's never seen her before. And this episode kind of picks up right after that with Satin kind of standing there and Febly kind of attached to her. I guess they kind of hit it off after the first meeting each other and stuff like that. And since Satin, she tells the other girl she has a little brother, so she's kind of used to little kids. So. And Misaka, on the other hand, she wants to know more about this little girl. She's curious, and she tries everything in her power to, I guess, befriend her, and it doesn't work. She even tries to give her this little like a toy, a little finger puppet frog that try to lure, I guess not lure her, but like kind of open up to her. Just giving something to distract her with so she can ask her questions. But the little kid kind of doesn't buy into that, and she just kind of snatches the little puppet away from Misaka and runs off. And Misaka kind of freaks out because she, even though she's this tomboy character, she has this cute side to her where she collects toys and things like that. And she especially loves frogs, which is kind of unusual for her. The other girls don't really think it's kind of weird. But Kiriko kind of grabs her and teleports back, and she tries to get the frog back from the little girl, but she runs to Satin's leg and kind of hides behind her. Kind of typical thing like a little kid would do when they're just really, really shy. They don't want to. She just, found someone that is, there for her, so she's just gonna stay with her. In the meantime, Kiriko and the other girls are trying to find out who this girl is, and they call her their friends in Judgment, and even the Judgment people have no idea who she is. So in the meantime, since they have no place to take this little kid, Satin and Yoharu kind of both agree that, we're not doing much and we can help, and plus should be with a member of Judgment, so Satin and Yoharu kind of take her back to their place and take care of her, give her food, give her a bath and everything like that. And yeah, next day they go to Judgment headquarters and they try to find out who she really is, and they find out she's not listed on any missing child database, so they're like, if she's not missing, no one's reported her missing, then what's up? So they're kind of confused, and they're trying to find like a home for her to stay in, just in case they don't ever find who she belongs to or her parents or anything. And they find some place, but again in the meantime Satin just kind of takes charge. She's like, well, I'll take care of her. I have plenty of people that can help me. Yoharu even offers your help, and they kind of go their way to this, I guess, the park area. They kind of like walk around, and this part's kind of neat where they had Febly kind of interacting with all the girls, even some of the other characters that kind of appeared last week. They're also in the opening, so the three girls that are, I guess, fighting the mech suits, not Misaka and them, but the other girls kind of appear. Just kind of neat. They're introducing, or actually putting them in the story, which is nice. It's nice to see the massive cast of characters kind of, you get to see extra characters here and there. But Satin kind of keeps seeing Misaka is having trouble getting with Febly, getting to know her, so she kind of makes up the excuse that she has to go to the bathroom. She walks off and tells, Febly she needs to stay with Misaka. As this is her way of trying to get those two together, which was nice. Because I guess Satin she wants everyone to be friends with the little kid, so. But again, Misaka has no luck with this little girl at all, and she's even trying to, again, use a puppet to distract her. And Febly's kind of sitting there on a park bench with her, and she notices this frog mascot guy walk past. She kind of gets all excited and follows him. Misaka kind of turns around, notices the kid's missing. She just freaks out, and she is a little worried because this little kid doesn't know the city, and she doesn't know what's going on. And so, Febly kind of follows this frog mascot and gets disappointed when she sees it. you know, the head come off and she kind of gets sad. And that's not real typical thing that a little kid would do, I think. And she kind of runs off, or walks off, kind of depressed, but also gets lost. And in the meantime, we have the science guys, the group we saw last week. They're planning something, plotting something, whatever you want to call it, and we don't know what they're up to. But the plan is they need Febily for something. I'm like, what do they need with this little kid? You know, is she a clone of who I think is the mind control girl? Yeah, she was in the first 2 episodes of the season. But I don't think it's a clone of her. I mean, if it was, I think it would be kind of interesting because the power to control people is, you know, if you think about it, is quite overpowered. Especially if you can control people with other special powers. So you could have basically an army of the Espers that at your command to do whatever you want. And yeah, but that would be kind of convenient, kind of silly if they did that. But anyway, yeah, they need Febily. And there's this scientist dude kind of walking around the city. He's looking for the kid. He just so happens to see her walk by. He's like, oh, we found her. And he tries to send these little robots after the little girl to, like, I guess, attack her. But they're unaware that Misaka was in that area and she jumped down and kind of saved the little girl. But this also plays into the hands of the scientists because now they all have agreed to, you know, use her for an experiment. That's what their plan is anyway. But Misaka saves Febily from getting attacked by the robots, and she kind of eventually befriends her. They kind of become friends, kind of, sort of. Satin kind of tells Febily she needs to apologize to Misaka for running away and making her scared. And she kind of does, but she snatches the frog puppet thing from her and runs off. So you have Misaka kind of chase after her. Kind of funny. Watching these two slowly become friends, but yeah. In the end, like I said before, the science guys they're plotting their next move to experiment on the Railgun, whatever that's supposed to mean. I don't really know what their plot is, their plan, because who knows. And the sad part is you only have maybe like 5 episodes left of the series, so I'm really praying and hoping they don't rush the ending, but who knows, maybe they might do something cool with the ending. I just hope that it's not something half-assed where it's, oh, well, it's the clones and the network and all that crap all over again, but since this is Railgun, focuses on the science, I can see him doing that, honestly. So, that's their episode review. In a nutshell, it's basically cute girls doing cute things. That's what I could sum up the whole episode as. And for fun stuff would be Satin, Febily, and like I said, all the new friends she makes, all the character appearances, such as, I don't know how to say his name, but Aogami Pierce. He's the blue-haired guy from Index who happens to like little girls and all things like that. And he was the one that was in the frog mascot suit, so it was funny seeing him appear because he was like, "Wow, cute girl." And that's what he said in the episode. It's kind of funny. And I almost forgot to mention Kiriko. She's doing her very best again this week to basically get in Misaka's pants. Always, she's always trying to do that. So, and the last thing to mention is just Febily by herself, and the other girls. They're just fun to watch when they're all hanging out. And for the preview 20, I think it's just going to be more Misaka versus the evil science guys. More of them trying to kidnap Febily and Misaka saving her and all that. But after 20, I'll be kind of sad because then it means we only have 4 episodes left. And like I said, I just hope they don't rush the ending. But anyway, that's been episode 19 of Railgun S. Catch you guys next week for episode 20. Who knows what's gonna happen. I think that's why I like this series so much. It's a mystery. And his new arc, of course. I don't know anything about it, so it helps. So, peace.